Oh, are we live? Hi.
Yeah.
Hi, I was looking at the cat and AJ's screen. Sorry. Hello, all you wild berserkers and all you fantastic lurkers. Good evening and welcome to Chromatic Chimera, where the stories made up and the XP sure don't matter. Welcome back to WovenRealm, a 13th Age independent broadcaster actual play. 13th Age is a D20 fantasy TTRPG published by Pelgrane Press, developed by some wonderful individuals, and you can use code Chromatic on the Pelgrane Press website for a discount on all their products. So now, usually you'd have an in-character recap, but that's all good because I've got you covered. So last session, we visited Azara's home of Bright Star. It was a picturesque abbey. It looked like a happy place to be. Shaw maybe almost joined a cult. Not really sure. And Zara learned the truth of her existence, learning that she wasn't chosen by the astral star, but rather she's the descendant of the Moonlit King, who manipulated everyone of her home, essentially, and her community into believing that she was the chosen one, all for his own gain. Tears were shed, and the Inquisitors were at the door, and the party was able to convince some of the devout to leave, but many of them stayed with the abbess, who so resigned their fate to join with the astral star. As the Inquisition was making a move on the abbey, Oleander wanted to get a sneak peek at this Apollo von Zeppenstein fella. A badass with a badass weapon, and some tears were shed. Soren adopted a child of some, or in some sense of that. Christoph, the shitty heroes, the assembling counterfeit card dealer, they've joined forces, the likes that have never been seen. And with that, the party arrived in Pawmeld to rest, and that's where we're going to pick right back up. On the 1st of Lycus, 1871. So, Pawmeld offers the Star Shepherds the hospitality that Azara had promised they had, tending to the group and giving them a comfortable and safe place to rest. Inquisitors pass through the town streets, but they do little more than just kind of look around and move on. Before departing, Azara, you are visited by an old friend of your father's you knew from when you were a young kid, Brer Knuckles Solid Tree, an aging halfling beyond his adventuring days. He provides the group with transport aboard his badger-pulled straw wagon. Their eyes may be old, but they have seen these forests many times and know the way. Although the giant badgers are smelly, it sure beats walking. Lord Solid Tree is able to take you to one of the outpost train stations, where he purchases the group's tickets for passage back to Wren's Run and says to Azara as he's kind of like sending you on your way, "Ain't much, but it's least I can do for old Benji's gal. Now you take care, Azara. May Star guide you."
I appreciate your help.
"Yes, and I'm sure your father would be very proud of you."
I can only hope.
"All right, well, ta-ta now. Your train will be going." All right, so you board the train, and instead of 3 weeks of navigating forests and watching over your shoulders, the journey by train to Wren's Run takes approximately a week. And you're able to book passage, and you'd be able to book passage to Shiverdelve on the airship. That's right. The train primarily runs through flat grasslands and cuts through forests. There's a bridge here and there carrying the train carriages over obstacles in the terrain, such as rivers or small valleys. Your seats are in a section-off portion of your carriage with beds that fold out for the nighttime. The journey by train is largely uneventful, perhaps a bit somber as you watch autumn grip the land and the trees grow more bare as the days pass. Just looking outside, you can tell the weather grows colder by the day and the blood moon is almost at its zenith. This is where you guys get to pass time, chatting with each other. You're on the train, you can get up. It's one of those fancy trains.
Can we do a quick flashback scene?
Yeah, sure. Quick? Go for it, my guy.
Okay. While we're in Palmeld, before we're leaving, I'm just going to find, in just the most badass adventuring looking person besides us in the town that I can find.
That might be Mr. Solid Tree, he being an ex-adventurer, though beyond his years.
Okay. So, before we left, I'm just going to, grab Kristoff by the scruff of his shirt and just kind of pick him up and put him down in front of
What are you doing?
Solid Tree. Just be like, "This is your responsibility now, Solid Tree. Get this kid to Maywood."
"Oh, well, you say so, sir. To Maywood, I was making a shipment there anyway."
All right. I'll give Kristoff a pat on the back and I'll say, "You'll like it. You're city folk, trust me. You just don't know it yet."
Sweet.
That's it.
All right, so you're riding the train, watching the terrain pass by. Are there any moments people want to have with each other?
I'll walk up to Azara. Just, all your famous is gone, I'm guessing.
Yep, back to normal.
Yep, so, Shaw's just gonna find where you are and just kind of pat you on the shoulder and sit next to you.
Hi, Shaw.
Hey, Zara. Just wanted to check in on you. I'd imagine you had a bit of a go, so.
You could say that.
Sorry, I punched your lady friend in the face. I know that wasn't right.
Actually, it was very satisfying to watch.
In which case, I'm sorry that I did not punch her twice.
Thank you. I would have done a lot worse than punch her, I think, if I'd been given the chance.
I mean, I wouldn't. I can see why you would. She was a very stubborn lady.
Yeah, among other things.
But how are you though? Are you okay? Because you've been getting wings, and then you've been not having wings, and then we're in a place and then we're running. Not blaming, just seeing if you're okay.
I don't think so.
Oh, thank God, because I was gonna be like, how is she holding it together with all this shit going on? And I don't even understand what's going on, and I'm totally stressed out.
Yes, I don't think I am. I don't think I've processed what's happened yet. I can't conceptualize the fact that it's gone now.
I'm gonna keep it real with you. I only understood about like 3 of those words.
I've spent half my life believing something and believing it really strongly. And now it's not true, and everything I thought was real and certain is not anymore. I don't know what to do with that.
Well, I ain't too much on the smarts, but I mean, it kind of makes you a little bit more like me in the sense that, like, I don't know what I believe, but I mean, you just kind of gotta. I mean, I guess it's kind of a good thing because it looked like what you believed was hard or difficult, right? So now you get to choose what you believe, and that's pretty cool because sometimes, like, you find more fun beliefs or better ones, you know? Like, I'm trying to learn what Emmy believed, and it's been cool. Like, the Caravan thing, I don't get the specifics of it, but I know that, like, I don't know, it's just all about making sure you have people around you and you take care of them. So, like, I guess you just find what you want to believe now.
I really admire your way of viewing the world, Shaw. You have a good heart, and you're a good friend.
I admire all the stuff you do because you're powerful, smart. Like you said, like, processing, and I think I know what that means, but like I'm probably gonna look it up later.
Well, thank you.
All right. Well, I'm surprised I have this talk. You intimidate me. He gets up and he pats you on the shoulder. He walks towards where he came from.
Thank you, Shaw.
Anytime. And I mean, you're a good person. It's just that you're real smart, and I don't like. Okay, I'm gonna leave now. I'm over explaining.
And beautiful. Anyone else want to have any interactions while on the train to Wren's Run?
I've got one if no one else does, but feel free to go first.
Go ahead. I think I'm okay, yeah.
Alright, on Shaw's way back from talking to Azara, I'm just gonna kind of like sit down next to him. Sorry, I rolled really high. Shaw, I know we don't have one-on-one talks often, but I was hoping that I could run something by you, if that's okay.
Absolutely. I will love to give you my intellectual opinion on whatever it is that ails you.
I knew I came to the right place. And I'm just going to get out my notebook and open it up to a page, and the top of it says Protector of the Caravan. And I was going to say, Shaw, I wrote this story the day that, well, the morning started, if you know what I mean. And I was hoping
but continue.
The day we lost our dear friend. I was hoping maybe I could read it to you, and you could make any edits that you would want. Being the closest to Emmy, I feel it's only fair. I didn't know them that well, so.
Oh, absolutely. And I have a story to tell you once you're done telling me your story, because funny enough, I ran into Emmy. Well, not so much ran into Emmy as much as Emmy ran into me. Not physically ran into, like, I don't think Emmy was a ghost. Seemed very Emmy-like and gave me weed. It is really good, too. I think it's from the other side, and I'm bummed out because I can't get more now, so it makes everything else a little bit more diluted. I'm talking a lot. Go ahead.
I mean, maybe they'll come back with more weed. I don't. Anyways, so I'm just gonna read you the story. I'm not gonna do the whole performance because I don't really think you are a person that really cares about that. So I'm just gonna talk now.
Okay, go for it. Go for it.
All right. It is rare to find a true hero in this world. Selfless, strong, resolute, and cunning. Stars of Emerald was this and much more. Outnumbered 2-1, Emmy never wavered. As the fight grew on, the implications were grim, yet our hero fought on. The spirits of the Shasta themselves emblazoning her spirit. Round and round the Felper fought, but the outcome was set by the gods. Run, our hero yelled, as they waved their caravan onwards. The battle carried on as the Great Protector stalled, so the caravan could flee. That day our great hero fell below the trees, tired and wounded, yet they smiled in the face of death as they knew their caravan was now safe thanks to her. Some say Emmy was enough of a hero to enter into the Shasta themselves. If you ever find yourself alone in the forest and your heart is true, Emmy will be there to watch over you. The laugh of a Felper, a whiff of an herb, rest assured that our hero is with you. And that's what I got so far.
Oh, I love it. There are just 2 hers in there we got to get rid of, and also like maybe put in the fact that Emmy does some pretty sick ass backflips, and when they hit you with their paw, you go spinning like 4 or 5 times.
All right, I'll work that in somewhere. I appreciate your feedback.
I don't know if you ever got hit by Emmy. It was not fun.
I never had the displeasure, I guess.
Like, one time, even got hit with a tail. I didn't see it coming. I thought it was a little bit unfair, and I was like, how bad can a tail hurt? Answer, a lot.
I would be interested in hearing a bit more of your story about how you found Ghost Emmy. I know you thought you were rambling, but that actually is quite interesting, and... Was it yesterday?
They go in the bag, and they pull out the compass, and... So, yeah, everybody was doing their own thing after the church being absolutely devastated, and I was just kind of walking about, bummed out, and like I saw Emmy, I don't think I was unconscious, but like do you ever really know when you're unconscious, But me and Emmy just we kind of talked, and it was nice just to have them around. It made it easier to be less sad, because I think the sadness comes from the fact that you think you ain't ever gonna see him again, and Emmy popping up, being like, "Hey, you gonna see me again?" It's just like, oh, I guess I don't got nothing to be sad about then. But then it was over, and then I was still sad a little bit, but less so. And also, gotta make sure that it was real important to Emmy that we follow this. There's something on the other end of it. Something I think Emmy needed to make right, and so I just want to make sure that at some point we settle that. That's all. He just puts it back. Oh, and here's the weed. Do you want some? Can we smoke on this train? Can we smoke on the train?
And you just look over and you see like a half dragon and this elf like smoking a hookah in their car. It's like the 1800s. You can smoke wherever you damn well please.
Oh shit! What are we doing here? Everybody get in this car.
I think that you can keep the weed. I wouldn't want to, steal something that is so dear to you. But I will say that, I've lost someone before too. Yes, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was I supposed to ask?
No, it's your life. All I'm
jeez.
saying is I know the feeling of losing someone very close to you as well. And if you ever actually, well, this is an actual talk as well, but if you ever want to talk about it, just know that I'm here. I know that we haven't had, again, a lot of one-on-one time, but I'm always open to chatting, so...
It's because you intimidate me with your big word and stuff. Like, you got this whole fancy thing going about you. I can tell that you came from a place where there are books all about. And I don't know where I came from. The person I woke up as, not a book in sight. So, between you and Azara, y'all when y'all talk to each other, I can't focus, and I look at the wall, and then I hear maybe one or two words, and it doesn't register, and then I think, am I even still speaking common? And then it just doesn't.
Well, did you notice that in the story, I purposely didn't use any of the big fancy words?
I appreciate that. I like when people write at a lower level.
Mm-hmm. Well, I thought that you would be, hopefully, in the future, you would help me tell the story and spread Emmy's story around, so I wanted to keep it, something that,
Well, hell, wherever anybody talks about Emmy, I'll be there to tell them just how badass they were. Because I don't think people understand, because Emmy was teeny tiny, so you think you're just gonna push this person over, and then next thing you know, somehow she put your heel in your ass, and then it's just you just gotta figure it out now.
That's exactly why I wrote the story, Shaw.
Oh, man. Oh, I smoked that whole one by myself.
I have a feeling you'll smoke the whole next one by yourself, too, and I'll just pat him on the shoulder.
he is gonna just if anybody know I'm smoking.
Shaw probably gets a
the offer
circle
stands,
around
Shaw.
him.
I appreciate you, Soren, and thank you for writing the story, because I don't like to mention this too much, but I feel a lot of things, and I don't know how to
process. Yeah, I mean,
wait, what the fuck does that mean?
you don't know how to feel them properly, correctly, rightly.
I feel them just fine. It's the.
I don't know. Smaller word than process.
It's when you feel a thing,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's what happens next. That thing that I don't do too well. It's the gears are gunked.
That's actually, funnily enough, why I write stories, is to make sure that my gears aren't gunked.
Is that how you ungunk your gears?
That is, but I mean, everyone has their own ungunking method, so you'll find yours.
Well, I mean, my gears feel ungunked when I'm murdering.
Yeah, well,
everything becomes clear, because it's just here's the sword, and there's the fleshy bit, and that's as simple as life can get right there.
Well, I think that so far as a party, we're doing a good job of making sure that the person on the other end of the sword are the people that should be, if that makes sense. So
yeah, and that's why this needs to be the Caravan, because y'all make sure that I do the good murdering and not the one that has people mad at me.
Yeah. So we'll point to the target, and then we'll just unleash you, and you'll just do whatever you do.
See, it's just like Emmy never left.
Exactly. All right. Well, I'm gonna leave you to your ghost weed, I guess. But have a good trip.
That's a good name for it. Emerald Ghost Weed.
Ooh, wait.
Emerald Ghost, I'd smoke the fuck out of that.
that sounds like it would be a real strain.
I'm over here is Emerald Ghost an actual strain of weed?
I mean, I know Ghost is, so I mean.
Yeah, every other actual play has cups and stickers and mugs and shit. What AP got a strand of weed?
Ghost.
All right. To regain focus, Sword, if you're up for another scene, Azara wants to have a chat with you.
Oh boy. Yep. feel like I'm gonna get in trouble for something. Did I abduct one of her kids? Oh my god. Anyways.
So I'll come in and sort of peek around the corner. Soren, could I borrow you for a moment?
Yep. I will just kind of close the door behind Shaw, just smoking with like random people on the train. Yep, I'm free. What's up?
You remember at the festival, well, shortly after we first met, you asked me about being a good person.
I did.
So what I do and why I do it is all sort of tangled up in what I believed and what I was taught. And I have recently found out that the person who taught me quite a lot of those things was not a very good person. And I'm trying to think of a way to phrase this without offending, because I don't mean it in a bad way, but it seems like you have a belief and identity that is very much anchored within yourself rather than, I don't mean you're self-centered. You can be, but that's not what I mean. You seem very grounded in your own identity and building yourself. And everything you do comes from within. And a lot of what I have done in my life has come from outside of myself, from seeking approval from others, from acting on a code that was given to me.
All right, let me stop you. I think that, actually, here, you know what? I'm going to answer this in the most roundabout way possible, as I'm apt to do. I'm going to take off one of my 12 rings on my hand, and it's a little book that opens up, and it has like a little page that's written down. All right. My father gave me this ring when I left my hometown, and this ring symbolizes the turning of a page or a new chapter, one about to be inked. And I think that, if I may be bold enough to say it, is where you are at, and that you don't need to have somebody be the author of your own book, is all I'm trying to say. I know that sounds cliche and like one of those bad posters you see on the wall at a tavern, but it is true that you are in charge of yourself. Maybe now more than ever for you. You don't have that person, and this might be tough to hear, holding you back anymore. Now you know that her intentions were not always good for you, and now you can be your own person. On the subject of finding your worth of self inside of yourself, that may take more time. I have always liked myself. I guess I was just lucky with that. Maybe I like myself too much, as you might have mentioned there. But yeah, I guess my beliefs come from a group of people who I consider family, who most people consider to be bad, if that makes sense. So I guess we're kind of the opposite in that way, is that most people considered your place to be good and they turned out bad. Most people consider mine to be bad and they might turn out good. We don't know the end of that story yet, but maybe season 2. But does that make sense, or am I just talking in circles?
I think it makes sense. It's just, I've had a direction for a really long time. I know that I want to do good, I want to be good, and I want to help people. And for 10 years of my life, I had a way to do that. And it wasn't necessarily an easy one, but it was straightforward. I knew what I was doing and where I was going and why I was going in that direction. And now I don't. And I know you said that the Abbess was holding me back, but she also gave me somewhere to go. And now that I don't have that, I don't have a metric or a signpost, and I don't know what to do now.
I think that, as you know, I don't know all the details, and I frankly don't know if I want to, but as evil as the Abbess turned out to be, I don't think she was wrong in the sense that you have a special destiny that you are going towards. And I think that maybe we don't know where that's going to lead now, but I think that you found 3 people who are on that same track. Well, 4, I guess, if you count Dean. But I think that these 3 people could be kind of your metric and your guide, your signpost, as you put it, to where you're going and what you're going to do next. I think that there's a lot of options for us as a group right now. We don't really have a lot of places to go now. We need to find this next heart and set right the plains is kind of the overarching idea. And even though you're not doing it for the Abbess or whatever, the star, I think, I don't know, I wasn't listening, but just because you're not doing it for them doesn't mean you shouldn't do it for the people who have been negatively affected by the convergence. And I think that your faith could come from something else than a star floating in the sky or a lady sitting in a throne in the middle of nowhere. No offense, but
None taken. The Abbess did say something in the tower that worried me a bit about the convergence and fixing it. I told her that was, that's what I was meant to do because that's what I thought, and she said that. She implied heavily that doing so could cause harm as well, and I'm worried now that we don't know what will happen, and we don't know where we all fit, and what happens to the people that are in between?
I actually had that same thought earlier today, funnily enough. Where are the people who weren't converged and things like that? But I mean, we could talk about that forever, but your point stands in the fact that I think that we need to maybe research what is going to happen if we do this. And maybe go from there, because I think that, we already have 2 hearts, right? Like, I feel like do I know that? Does Soren know that? That would
You only have
the one.
Oh.
The Moonlit King has the other.
We didn't get that one, right, yes. So, we already have 1 heart. We've proven that we can at least collect 1 of them. We're on the path of a 2nd. We probably won't have long until we're on the path of a 3rd at this rate. So we've proven that we could do it. We just need to know if, we should. And I don't know who to seek out for that. I know a lot of wise people, but not in this area.
Soren, you hate the Moonlit King, right?
Yeah, I feel like he's me if left unchecked, if that makes sense. Like, he's kind of an asshole, right? But I feel like I've rolled mine in a little bit, and he's kind of just stayed that way. So
I think he is magnitudes worse than you could ever dream of being.
Oh, well, thank you. I think.
I
hate him then.
I really don't think you're as bad as you make yourself out to be, Soren.
Thank you, but you haven't seen me in my element yet.
That's fair. But I think I trust you to make the canny choice when push comes to shove. The Moonlit King he knows my name and my, true fae name, and when he confronted me in the tower, he used it and he demanded that I give him the heart, and I was able to distract him long enough not to hand it over, but I don't think next time I'll be so lucky.
Honestly, after you said I trust you, I kind of blacked out. Just kidding. I know that I know generally what a true name means in a sense, and I know that can be pretty much nigh impossible to overcome, so I will try to make sure that we're making the correct decisions if you are under his influence, but I wouldn't necessarily promote me to head decision maker if you're gone, so. Or not decision maker, but like compass.
You did try and get yourself elected leader of the group, like day one.
That was before I knew you all and how competent you all were. You've got to understand, I've worked with a lot of people who are not competent over the past 6 years, so 5 years.
Here's the thing. I trust Shaw with my life, and I care about him very much, but he can be overly trusting, and Constance is wonderful. She's really an amazing person, and I admire her very, very much, but she owes allegiances to others outside this group and outside this quest. And Oleander seems on the level, but I don't really know them so well. And I can't be trusted to keep this anymore. Originally, I was going to leave it with the Abbess, and that is a bullet narrowly dodged. But I don't have anyone else that I can give it to and trust that it will not end up in the Moonlit King's hands or the hands of someone who would misuse it. And I know you hate him, and I know you understand the value of secrets and the value of these kinds of magical artifacts you wield that book. It seems very powerful, and you've used it wisely so far. Can I trust you to keep this?
Soren actually pauses for a second and thinks, like, palpably. He's like, yeah, you can trust me to keep this. I'm not going to use it for anything but the group's benefit. The reason for the pause is that I think that in many ways in my life, I need to start accepting that I am someone capable of being trusted and who needs to be trusted in some circles. Maybe you'll understand in time, but yes, overall, you can trust me to not give it away to the Moonlit King if that's what you're asking.
Thank you. And I will give him the heart. Soren, I think I said something similar to you last time, but since then you have done nothing but prove me right. And maybe I'm not so good a judge of character as I'd hoped, but I really don't think that you're as far from the kind of person you want to be as you think you are.
I was exactly right about you when we met. I knew you were a good person from the start, and I think that you still are, even without your that group, your religious organization, whatever you want to call them. And I think that you can be even better without them, and I think that today is the first step of that. And I'm going to, as she gives me the heart, I'm going to give her the little ring with a book on it. And just keep it. It's a reminder that this is your chapter now. This is Azara's chapter. The last chapter was the Abyss. This one's yours.
Are you sure it was from your father?
Loads of these are from my father, and I'll hold up the other 11. There's like 5 on here from him, so I'm not too worried about it.
Thank you, Sword.
Thank you. I'll just smile and walk off with the heart and like jokingly drop it about 5 feet away. Oh, sorry, and just keep going.
The worst. The worst. My favorite sessions where I get to just vibe. They're the best, honestly. Alright, is there anything else before we arrive? Once we arrive at the station, some shit's gonna go down, so... speak now or forever hold your peace.
So.
Alright, then. Before arriving in Wren's Run, you can see the massive city when the train is still miles away, still through the farmlands of the Partridge Vale. It's truly marvelous to see the great city on the Cronatiere River while approaching from the Vale. There may be something comforting about seeing civilization after spending over a month in the wilderness, essentially, or perhaps it seems like a lot after being away for so long. The train makes one final stop at a farmstead community before departing for what the conductor confirms for you is the last stop, Wren's Run. It feels like no time at all before the train slowly loses the speed and feels almost as if it grows to a crawl as you grow closer to the city. Oleander, you recognize the gate the train is crawling toward, hissing with steam. Autumn's Gate. The city is alive and busy as the train travels along a track that splits the districts of Eluxburg and Shriketown. You eventually arrive at the Grand Central Station in the center of the metropolis, and folk begin to disembark from their carriages. As you reach the door to exit, you hear a shot and shouts of panic as folk begin to scatter at the sound of gunfire. Gazing beyond the engine spewing steam, you make out a piggish figure shooting a revolver into the air. Oinks Bane. Moving to the, if you're in the Roll20, you will notice that we are now on the combat map. A strange cloaked humanoid stands over an unconscious person holding what appears to be a bottle of dirt that they place a cork on. Their face flashes, revealing a gaunt, almost skull-like face with haunting blue skin and deep red eyes. Whatever it is, it lives. It carries an array of weapons and tools. A sword, a hand crossbow, a longbow slung over the shoulder, and a round aegis shield with a bright coloration. And Oinks Bane is like, it looks at, as like people are just like just running in panic, Oinks Bane's leaning on like the balcony and is like twirling the revolver in a gross hoofy finger. And it's just like, oh, I looked up. All I'm asking for is one dinner. I know a really good place to get pork chops, alright?
This fucking guy.
Doesn't that seem a little cannibalistic?
Oh, I just...
Where's this place that has the pork chops, though, just between us?
And he just kind of takes the gun, stops spinning it, and points it at you, Shaw. Alright, little boy, boo. You know what to do. And we're gonna roll initiative, but before we do that, if someone wants to do an intelligence check of some kind on the creature.
Me? I would like to do that.
Alright.
Can I use my freaking nerd background?
Of course you can, because you're a freaking nerd.
I don't know if death becomes her would be better, but it's the same score either way.
Nah, freaking nerd's better for you here.
Alright, that is only a 15?
Alright. The creature is unsettling to behold, and its face's appearance and form flashes momentarily between the forms of your friends, the cloaked armor it wears remaining the clothing it wears. It watches each one of you intently, waiting for you to make a move. Oleander, you're only able to recognize the creature with its shape-shifting power seems to resemble a member of the doppelganger family.
Okay, that is interesting. I think it's some sort of shapeshifter.
Well, that's concerning.
Okay, well, if Careful, everyone. I'm just like getting my cane ready, sending
Yup.
Ida into the
Back
like
into the
outskirts
train.
of the station. Yeah.
Yep, it's about to go down.
I send Ida on crowd control.
Alex, I'm so mad about the DM you sent me the other day now.
Which
Oh
one?
no!
It's all making sense for this fight.
Uh-oh.
Oh really? Now I'm
Oh,
curious. Secrets.
Never a good thing to hear.
It was
No.
a private DM. I can't reveal the contents.
Constance or Oleander, who wants to go first?
I'll go.
Yeah, you can go first.
All right. Oh, look, Orange Bag's only got a 10. All right. And that's a 16 for the doppelganger. I forgot the rules for some reason. Alrighty then.
Zoran was a 17. Oh,
All right.
I said that.
You did now. Oh, Oinksbane, you don't have a 17, you got a 10. Don't try and cheat your way to the top of the order.
I don't like Spain.
Alright. So, before we jump right into the battle, do note the train warning signs. There's some arrivals at the escalation die, so you maybe don't want to be in those platforms when that happens. Also, we've got some stunts to note here. All aboard. So basically, you can try and jump and run across the top of the train, or you can jump inside of the train into the engineer's room, which allows you then to use the next stunt called Choo Choo Motherfucker. Your character would attempt to operate the train in a way to run it off the tracks. It's a classic, and that's what we're gonna do. Azara, you're gonna be first, then it's gonna be Shaw, then Soren, then the doppelganger question mark, then Constance, then Oleander, then Oinksbane. So Azara, why don't you take things away first?
Okay, very first thing I'm going to do, we should clarify for the audience. Alex and I have discussed Azara retaining her cleric spellcasting abilities. So she still can cast cleric magic, just less out of faith in the organization and more out of a sheer bloody mind and stubbornness. So I'm going to cast Shield of Faith
All right.
on. I think I can only hit the nearby, so it would be me, Constance, and Shaw.
All right. Before you do the rest of your turn, give me a sec because I have to put those labels on you first. And then something also happens. Oh shit. There we go. Shield of Faith. Shield of Faith. What does Shield of Faith do again?
+1 to the AC this battle.
All right. As you do that, you notice the doppelganger kind of grabs a portion of your, like, looks at you, do your spell, and then you see it, like, snap its finger and cast the same spell you did, applying Shield of Faith to itself.
Motherfucker! Well, I'm going to cast my Invocation of Life.
All right. Who you putting that? Is that on everyone?
That is everyone. That is all of my allies, and that's the we can each separately add the escalation dice to a single save made this battle. And then I would like to move into this here orange section, please.
Yeah, get out of that arrival zone.
Yep. I do not want to get hit by a train. Thanks.
As you load up the Invocation of Life on yourself, the doppelganger looks at you and just kind of lets like it says a prayer in some strange language, and it applies the Invocation of Life to Oinksbane. Anything else you'd like to do with your turn, Azara?
No, that's it.
Shaw, it is your turn.
All right, yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker, we're jumping on the train.
Choo choo!
All right, I am going to be adding Daunting Warrior to this.
All right. And it'll be a dex check to run across the train.
Yep. And we're on escalation die 1, right? Or did we start at
0? We started
Okay,
at
never
0.
mind. Yeah! Okay, nothing happened. Well, let me try that one more time. I got real excited and then nothing happened. So, yeah, 19.
All right, so you're successfully able to either run across the whole choo-choo train and jump down next to the repliganger, or you could jump inside the train and next turn attempt to operate it.
Yeah, but that's an intelligence check. And look, Shaw knows a little bit about himself. So I would like to frog splash this blue-faced mother effer.
All right, go for it.
Okay, here we go. I mean, that running him over with the train thing, it was tempting. It really was, but
it's a tempting offer.
I mean, how many times do you get to smack somebody in the face with a train? But I think I'm actually gonna drop down and hit him with the shield.
All right, go for it.
So yeah, here we go. That's gonna be a miss.
Sure is. So you jump down, and he takes his shield, throws it up, and kind of slams you to the side of him. And he's surprisingly strong for being such a gaunt figure.
Do I still get to attack with my sword?
Yes.
Since I'll use the shield's ability. Okay. So let's try that with 50% less suck. So that's a 19 to hit.
That will hit. How much? For 15 damage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'll hit. Yeah, so you come wheeling around with the sword and you catch the doppelganger as it's kind of like preparing its next. It's trying to like watch all of you. So okay.
Hey, it
All
might
right.
behoove you to pay attention, you son of a bitch. That's my turn.
Soren, it is your turn.
All right. I'm gonna run over here, and I'm gonna shoot the doppelganger because I don't like him.
All right.
Oh boy. 15 to hit.
That will not hit.
Man, me and this gun. I like to think it just kind of jams, and I just kind of like put it between my legs and just kind of like jump up and down and try to unjam it for a minute.
There we go. And with that,
Is anybody watching? Like,
the doppelganger is up if you don't have anything else you're doing.
nope.
All right, so the doppelganger is actually going to move. Before it moves, it's going to use a shield attack similar to the one Shaw just made with Stagthorn. Shaw, that is a 25 to hit.
Yeah, that'll do it.
You take 12 points of damage as it kind of... You don't expect it because it does the same exact thing you do with your shield, where just barrels into you, and then it runs towards Soren to make an attack with its sword. And it does not incur an attack of opportunity due to its shifting form ability.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Soren, does a 16 hit your AC?
Yep.
All right. That is going to be 10 points of damage as the repliganger jumps towards you, it just lunges in with a sword, and it's like attacks with the fury of Shaw almost. Kind of takes on his form as he attacks you.
Oh, this thing looks just like you.
All right, and with that, Constance,
In a good way.
It's a lot softer.
Alright, I'm gonna activate my halo.
Alright.
And then I am going to... Where am I? I'm gonna get off of the frickin' train tracks, that's for sure. And I'm gonna run to the same square or area as Shaw.
All right.
That's all.
Oleander, it is your turn.
Okay, I'm going to just firstly flip off Wingspan, and sort of like point my hand like I'm about to cast something at him, and then see the doppelganger come and wail on Soren, and sort of like move my finger, and I'm gonna cast Chant of Endings, which is a 17 versus ND.
MD?
MD, yeah.
That will not affect the creature to its full
No?
extent. No.
Not to the full
unfortunately.
extent, but does it hit at all, or?
It's like, does it have like any of that mist stuff where it
No,
deals-
not for this one.
Oh,
Well, to full
then-
extent, I wasn't sure if that just meant like he was, resistant.
Oh, I
or
meant like
something.
if it's like one of those things where it's like some spells I know if they don't hit, they still do
Yeah,
stuff.
no, this one just, because it's like a 1d10, so on a miss, it
Oh,
doesn't do
okay.
anything. It's pretty big for a cantrip.
Yeah, that is pretty big. Oof.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna go, scheisse! And I'm gonna hobble into the train because Oleander has been shot way too many times in like the last week alone.
All right.
And start making her way up to the front, but that's all I can actually do. Oh wait, no, I need to roll for the dex first, right?
That's right. And then also when you cast your spell, the Repliganger pulls out a wand, or no, pulls out a mage-lock pistol like Soren's, points it at Constance, and shoots like a necrotic bolt towards her.
Sorry.
Constance, does a 10 versus your MD hit?
No.
All right, so you just kind of, the doppelganger misses the attack. All right, what'd you get for the dex check there?
I just miss it with a 15.
Oh.
So little hobbling Oleander doesn't quite make it.
They did not make this train engine room accessible, damn it.
Yeah, I'm like 4'11" too, so I'm like trying to climb up out of the like train
Yeah.
track like area.
All right, and good old Orangebane's up. Orangebane's gonna take his revolver, he's gonna just point it right at his shoulder. Shoot the confessor. That is a 15 versus AC.
No, that's a miss.
All right, hold on. Natural. Okay, nothing triggers because that was a natural odd. So yeah, Oinksbane just takes a shot and misses.
I flip him off.
Alrighty. And with that, we're at the top of the order. The escalation die will go up. Oh, hey, Just Dorky Teacher, thank you for the raid. You're just in time for some combat, and it is escalation die 1. Things happen. That person that the Repliganger, doppelganger creature was standing over begins to convulse. Because I rolled a nat 20 on their initiative, so turn up the heat just happens right away. Here we go. The person on the ground begins to convulse violently, letting out shouts of pain and rage, their voice distorting. Their blood boils like magma, burning their skin away, and you see a charred skeleton held together by frenzied flames as a charcoal body forms around them. Her face snarls like a wolf, and jets of flame shoot from her head like hair and around her body. She lets out a furious roar and produces a blade of flaming fury and an axe wreathed in lava. Intelligence plus background check to identify this lovely creature.
What this
17.
17.
13.
18?
All right. Oleander and Azara. This creature is one that is also linked to Lycus, most likely, judging by the company it keeps. A wereborn and a doppelganger.
Nat 20.
Oh shit, Constance knows
Oh damn.
everything about a creature known as a Berserker. Folk become infected with a corrupted earth elemental that feeds on their rage, causing them to turn into the Berserker form. The fury of a Berserker is in fact derived from Lycus and is a result of the blood of the innocent being spilled and seeping into the earth. The flames of fury burn hot thanks to Azrael linking rage to fire. Berserkers are similar to an infection that spreads amongst folk, and like all creatures linked to the moon fury, Berserkers too are weak to silver.
Oh boy. I will yell, weak to silver, scary thing.
Is there a cure for the Berserker? Or not?
I don't know yet. And what it does with its first action is it approaches Shaw, lifts high the flames of fury. Oh, Constance, you also know if it burns you, you could get infected as well.
Oh, yeah, so... But
Shaw,
do not let it touch you, peeps.
you're not gonna believe this. I just scored another nat 20 with the flames of fury.
Alex!
Also with it being a natural even hit, Shaw, I don't
Let's
know how
go,
to,
you son of a bitch.
I don't know how to explain
Ready to
this
wrestle.
to you. You're gonna take 3 ongoing fire damage. I have no explanation. Well, I have an explanation. It will be soon.
The GM, I have no explanation.
Okay.
All right, hold on, wait. I do have an explanation, actually. It's just in my description instead. So, Shaw, this sword reaches into you, and it deals 12 points of fire damage, and you take the full. No resistances apply.
Oh.
Shaw,
Tits.
she flows like a flame on the wind, and she summons the sword, driving it through your back and out through your chest. Shaw, you've never been burnt in your life. Your favorite prank with Emmy probably was grabbing the hot pan on the fire while they yelped with dismay and laughter at the same time. But this is hot. You feel the sizzle a nice cut of steak gets when it hits the grill. It burns, and damn, it hurts. And
And the
Berserker-
worst of all, I smell kind of delicious too. Shit.
Also, please note the Berserker does have a fear, so if you're at 12 HP or lower, you would be feared by it. And with
I
that,
am
Berserker
22.
lets out this weird, unnatural retchy just, and kind of just shoots magma and fire out of its mouth as it roars. As we go to Azara's turn.
Okay. How badly hurt does Shaw look from here?
On a scale of 1 to 40, I'd say 22.
So Cure Wounds is a ranged spell. That means I can do it up to one zone over, right?
Yeah, it's extended essentially. I think
Cool.
that's what we call that special range.
I'm going to Cure Wounds, my good friend Shaw. So you can use a free recovery now, and because I am a healing domain cleric, you add an additional 4 points to your recovery dice.
Alright.
And then I'm gonna Javelin of Faith this here Berserker. And this is targeting physical defense.
Alright. That's like its best one.
Ah, shit! Okay. Well, I rolled a natural 2, so I don't think so.
Yeah, that doesn't happen. So it catches your spear, and like the spear of light just melts in its hand, and it just looks at you.
I'm gonna move into the next zone.
All right, Shaw, it is your turn.
He's kind of clutching the wound which closed thanks to Zara, and he's just gonna look over to Constance. So, if you get burned, you're infected, right?
Yeah, don't do that. Oh dear.
Sorry.
Oh
And,
no.
I would like to try and grab this thing and slam it into the tray.
You know what? I think this is so. Shaw, for a moment, your vision goes red. You grow hot, and curling dragon's horns erupt from your head. Your scales grow a dark crimson, and they harden. Friends, you witness as Shaw takes on a draconic form. The scales a self-luminous red for a moment, and then they turn almost obsidian. Flames shoot out the skull of Stagthorn's kite, and he lets out a mighty roar as the flames turn emerald green.
Roll credits. Love it.
All right, Shaw. You're gonna get a +10 to your strength roll because you have the rage of a berserker right now.
Let's fucking go.
Go ahead and fucking make this thing's day.
All right, so we're going to add on a +10 to this. And the goal is to slam it into the train.
Yep.
And either on my turn or somebody else's turn, send the train away from us so that nobody else gets infected. And that'll be a 24.
Yeah, you grab it by the neck and it's just like, and you're like in dragon form. And you notice when Shaw, unlike the Berserker who's kind of just like fire all over, Shaw's dragon Berserker form has these like translucent wings, and he's able to focus his fury into the blade of his sword. And you take the sword, you stab it into the Berserker, let go, grab it by the neck, and just slam it into the train.
When I look at the others, what do I feel?
Rage.
Oh shit. Okay, this is I'm imagining like the last of him is like, oh, this is a fucking problem.
Shaw, you have a new token now.
Oh no! Okay, this is a fucking problem. This is a fucking problem now.
I wish we like hear that in a dragon voice.
This is a fucking problem. This is a fucking problem.
And as you're screaming, flames just go everywhere. And
so now that
also, you have unlimited use of your fire breath.
oh no.
Oh, this is a fucking problem. Okay, I would like to retcon one thing if I could. I would like to try and slam myself with it in the train.
Yeah, we'll say that happens.
Yeah.
And the combined heat output of both of your characters is enough to just make the train gets thrown into overdrive.
Oh no.
As it begins just hurtling out of the station.
I think with like the very last bit of Shaw in there, he's just going to kind of look at Constance and go, sorry.
What? My cat just ripped my earbuds out and I missed like the last 30 seconds.
The last thing he said is just, I'm sorry.
Why are you sorry?
Yeah, that's it.
And so the train comes hurtling out, and Shaw, in your last moment of humanity, you're able to lift the train off the tracks so you, with your huge draconic wings, and fly off with this Berserker inside the train. How would you like to just end the Berserker?
I think I'd like to just take us through the roof and just hold it right next to myself, right next to my face. And as it yells at me, I just kind of yell back. But as he's yelling, just green flames, just.
Yes, and the heat of the green emerald fire melts this Berserker. You melt fire. And with that, Oinksbane and the Repliganger make a very hasty exit. And Shaw, that was your season 1 send-off, bud.
What?
Shaw will be back eventually. Dear folks, Noir has to unfortunately take a brief leave from WovenRealm.
Hiatus.
But Dragon Berserker Shaw will be back with a vengeance.
I will return.
Oh.
And perhaps I will return as a villain that you not must face.
Oh no.
Oh no.
No, not really. Maybe.
We're gonna miss you.
Okay, but that'd be a pretty cool idea. I hate it, but I love it.
All right. I actually did kind of have that in mind a little bit eventually.
Oh no!
Spoiler alert. So
no.
we'll jump to a quick break so I can like get the Roll20 all fixed up here, and we can continue with what the fuck just happened.
That all happened so fast.
It really did. I was just like, oh, he got the infection right away.
I
Oops.
didn't think I was gonna get infected so fast. But no, I kind of love it though. It was just like, Constance immediately goes, "Don't get burned." And he's just like, fuck. If that ain't Shaw, I don't know what is.
And the fact your Berserker forms a dragon's even cooler, so.
Yes, I knew I was a dragon.
All right, we'll be right back, folks. Stick around. Things will happen.
BRB.
Bye.
you Welcome. You find yourselves in the town tavern. Through the typical calm pierces an unfamiliar voice. It sings news of a nefarious power. A bard.
Y'all as often as I can,
Please do.
especially now that money isn't going to be such a worry anymore. Yay!
Nice.
So I will
Yes.
talk to y'all.
That's the dream.
The dream.
I think we're live.
No, we're not.
Are
Are
we
we?
live?
Oh, heck.
We are.
Ah!
Welcome
With
back.
intent.
With the wrong screen, now we're live with the right one.
All right, welcome back, folks. You may notice we are now down a Shaw. Shaw has left, having become a dragon berserker creature, flying off of the train and killing the other berserker. Shaw will return eventually.
It's like the Marvel cutscene. Shaw will return in season 2.
Right, that's what I was
Right.
thinking. So, it's almost like a matter of moments that everything's just kind of over. There's the charred train station that remains before you, and your enemies are gone, and all that is left is the abandoned train platform. Guards rush into the platform, folk are rushing to aid you and helping you up. Oleander, you instantly recognize leading the town guard as Lady Cat Steele. Oh shit, Sancha and C, you're never gonna hear the end of it now. The party is attended to by workers coming to aid those in trouble. So, so you're kind of just being helped out by the Wren's Run paramedics, essentially.
How is everybody doing after that?
Shaw is gone.
Yeah, I have no idea what that was, really. Sort of like look up, like see if I could still see him.
I did not even get to say goodbye.
Well, we will find them. So you did not need to say goodbye. Well,
I have only really learned how to grieve recently, and I am not ready to do it again.
You're not grieving Shaw? Because Shaw is alive, and he is fine, and we will find him.
I hope so.
we will.
He's fine. I mean, honestly, nothing's going to be able to defeat him now if he's a giant berserker dragon. So I think he's A-okay.
Then we are ready to, find them. I'm sure it will not be too hard.
I am also worried that what if Shaw is not Shaw when we find him?
If this berserker situation is a curse of Lycus, then there is a way to break it.
I hope we are strong enough.
Well, while we are in the city, we can go to the library at Tybarkat, and maybe we can find some information about how to help Shaw there. If there's any place to find that sort of information, it will be the Oprix Library.
Lead the way then.
Yeah. We can stop there first, that's a good idea.
Alright, so you step out of the train station and almost forgot how big Wren's Run is. In no time at all, the things kind of get back into business as usual as best as they can for the moment. The Grand Central Station is massive and stands in the center of the metropolis of Wren's Run. It's connected to Central Avenue with the tram that runs through the middle. Exiting to the south of the station lands you in Lillian's Gate. That is definitely the university district of the town, so that's heading right for the library, home of the Oprix Academy and Scale Cut DDS Stadium. The streets are busy as magic students push past you, running late for class thanks to your publicity stunt at the train station. You pass through the apartments and cross Brewer Street, just past Gutworks Brewery. And instinct's taking you around the usual route to work, Oleander. You somehow end up in the plaza below a set of fine apartment buildings near the stadium and Market Row. Soundchin Siggy's place is here. You continue down, making your way to the university campus. It takes up a decent chunk of the Lillian's Gate area here. With multiple buildings, we've got at the Oprix Academy, we've got where did they go? I've got a. Here we go. We have the stadium, the Mage Crafter dorms, the Lady Rosalind School for Warlocks, the Oprix Student Alchemist, the Oprix Academy proper, the library, and if you cross the bridge, you can go to the College of Astropathy. But that's technically in Ravenholm. But so this is the fine place. Oleander, if you want to bring them to the library is the fine building that sits on the bed of the river, next to the river, in the shadow of the school proper.
Yeah, I will lead the way on in, sort of giving them like a really nerdy tour of any sort of architecture and like art and stuff as we go by. Just like, oh yes, this is a sculpture of the actual owner of Oprix who founded the academy. It was actually made by somebody who runs the art school now, and I just sort of am like tour guiding as we go.
Oh, yeah, just student ambassador at
Yeah.
heart. So you pass by the dorms, and you don't really have to pass through much of the campus to get to the library, fortunately. So you get into the library. Let me see here. The library is a cavernous expanse of bookshelves that just kind of seem to be endless. They reach far into a tall ceiling, the building of the kind of like just a giant round building, and like it's just a maze of bookshelves in here. Archival records, all sorts of magical tomes. It's a nerd's dream. They've got all kinds of stuff here in this library. Plenty of areas for students to study and do their homework. They even, in the library, have a little section for simple casting rooms to try and practice some of your basic casting from some of the magical tomes. They totally have those little desks with the little lamps on them where people can read and study and whatnot. And there's actually quite a few folk in here. Sam, do you want to describe the individual who greets the group Iris?
Sure. Iris is a medium height dreadborn woman with dark brown skin and hair, like long hair in many small braids that's sort of like piled up into a bun. That's wrapped really cool and elegant around these big twisting sort of corkscrew like ibex-like tiefling horns. And she has these big silver framed glasses on and is wearing some very nice sort of dark blue and gray robes, which are like the academy like colors, like all the librarians are wearing sort of matching outfits.
Well, Oleander, if you were going to show up to work, I'd expect you to be in uniform.
Iris, it is good to see you. I was hoping you were on shift. Hi.
Hi, it's kind of left and didn't say much, so the headmistress is going to want a good explanation for this one.
Well, yeah, sorry about that.
We'll talk later. How can I service you and your newfound looks around companions?
This is actually probably the most flustered anybody has ever seen Oleander. And she sort of looks to Iris, and then her friend is like, Iris, these are my companions. I don't know if you received my letters.
Oh, I've been getting them. Points. That must be Soren, Constance, Zara. Where's Shaw? Where's the big guy?
That is sort of a long story, and while we are here, and, well, one reason we are here.
Well, I hope the other reason isn't just to say hi to me, she says with a giggle.
Well, I mean, that was sort of the most important one, I'm not going to lie.
Oh, okay. Well, then I suppose I can forgive you for. I'm sure whatever it was urgent and needed your utmost attention. I mean, come on, you'd like never missed work, so I'm sure the headmistress won't really care what the explanation is.
Yeah, I hope not, because I still haven't really thought of what I'm going to tell her yet.
Well, you know how she is. Just say something about the dog. That always seems to work.
Actually, perhaps she won't be too upset considering some of the things we have seen and the information we have for the academy or the library.
Oh, new books for the shelves?
New books and some old stories come to life.
Oh. Now, you know how much I love old stories coming to life. Oh, you gotta let me in on this. What are we looking for? What kind of books?
Well, let me tell you,
And when you start getting into the nerdy shit, that's when Iris is just like, yo, lay it on me. Let's go.
So I think Oleander sort of just starts rattling off some like subjects. Pretty much Oleander is looking for information about chaos gems.
Okay, I have just the book for that. Learning to Live with Entropy by Dr. Noodlehausen. And she kind of disappears behind a shelf and reappears with this really just thick, colorful book. Just puts it down on the desk in front of you. Careful, it's heavy.
Oh, excellent. This is perfect. Let's see, we're looking for information about, Lycus and his general powers. I'm sure we have quite a bit in the archives there.
We have plenty, but if you want just general information about Dreadlords, I highly recommend Goldroth's Occult Sciences. Check out Chapter 2 in that one.
Oh, super. That is wonderful, Danke. Anything particular about curses for Lycus? Lycanthropy or apparently Berserkers?
Well, any work by Dr. H.R. Ludwig is considered expert work on lycanthropy and any theanthropy, really.
Wonderful, wonderful. I feel like I sort of like if we're like going through the stacks, Oleander and Iris both have like their mage hands pulling things off of.
Oh,
like,
totally.
Just sort of flying over towards. I don't know. Constance is probably the strongest one able to carry all of these books for us.
Constance is just now the party pack mule.
Shaw's gone now. Constance is our muscle.
So okay, we got books on. Okay, so
look, I've been carrying Soren's stuff for how long now?
All right, so I think we've got quite a collection going here. And what? Anything else?
I'm looking for. I don't really know what this is called, but there's an artifact I encountered. And Oleander's going. Well, there is this sword that I found, sort of.
All right, so we're talking legendary swords. Gotcha. So Grog's Guide is a definite go-to, but what's this sword like?
It is made of bone and shadows.
You know, there's someone else here who's really interested in a similar topic. Gets out the Grog's Guide to Legendary Weapons, volume 3rd edition. It's just this thick book, and like to open it you have to like pull out little sword pins that keep it closed in the center because it's extra AF. All right, and she starts flipping through right here. Okay, yeah, you're definitely messing around with some dark stuff there, Oleander. You find a reference of the sword in this book, as it is the only book that offers any referential images. That's why Grog's is the go-to. Gotta love them nerds, right? The blade is said to have been wielded by Blackheart during the Sunless Era when he tore a rib from the Raven Queen when he killed her to steal the Shadowfell.
Oleander's face is sort of falling like while she's reading and going through the stuff with Iris. Oh, well, that is good to know.
Yeah, so should we cross-reference this and see what else we can find?
Yeah, please, anything.
All right, starts going through. That's weird. They're all checked out.
All of them? Every book about this.
Yeah, well, I mean... Okay, you know, since you work here, you have access to this anyway. St. Clairion's been really interested in these swords and things lately. You know, the church, it's just a church that's like right next to the university, really small, just a church devoted to the sovereign and alabaster. I mean, they're always into some weird research one way or another. I mean, last month they were checking out books on biomancy.
Oh. Oh. That's interesting. Yeah, I suppose I will have to go and have a speak with somebody there.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea, I'd say. But it is good to see you, Oleander. I did miss doing this, just kind of gesturing to the heap of books on the desk in front of them.
Me too. There are not that many libraries out on the road.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, where were you even?
Oh, I sort of went back to the Empire.
I didn't think you'd want to do that.
Well, I did not, really. I had some business to do with, Oleander sort of like turns red and is like looking down. It's like, I didn't want to talk to you about it because I knew you would tell me not to go and...
Oh. What did you do?
Well, let's just say you were not wrong about your thoughts on Isidore at all.
I told you he was an asshole.
Yeah.
Told you.
Look, yeah.
Look. Tell you what, I'll tell you. We can go to Rock Guts or your place of choice. Let's just stay out of Shrike Town, and I'll get you a drink, and we can go over your little adventure with Mr. Assface McGee.
Yeah, he hasn't come back through the town at all the last 2 months, has he?
Is Soren present? Oleander, is Soren present for this?
Soren wants to be.
Well, I haven't seen. Or you could be like off in the distance, just flipping through a boring book about something, and you hear them, and you're using the book more as an excuse to just eavesdrop.
That sounds like speed.
Yeah, I figured. So, I am curious. So did he do the thing I said he would do with the kangaroos?
No, it wasn't that. But I mean, he had a job in the Empire that he needed some help with, and...
Oh no, were you caught dealing tuftweed?
I wish that was it. Speaking of getting caught, mind if we just check the communication archives from the Empire?
Sure, yeah, we can check those. Should have a few papers in there. A lot's happened since you left, I suppose.
Yeah, that would be good. Just, I don't know, how much information about what happened, might have gotten out, so it would be good to know.
Oh, were you in Brocktree by chance? That was a big one. A lot of people have been looking into that one.
Yeah, actually, we were.
Oh, shit. Isidore really fucked you over, huh?
You don't know the half of it.
And now you're stuck, what about these companions? Do we actually like them, or are they just kind of like there just to get you back here?
They are a unique bunch, but
I'd say.
they are good people.
From what you said about him, I would think so, but, you thought Isidore was a nice guy, too, so, I'm just worried about you, Oleander. You were gone, you didn't say anything, and, I don't know, I didn't know what happened. No one knew what to think.
I'm sorry, Isidore didn't want to risk anyone knowing anything, in case there was, questioning, but...
And Siggy doesn't make a fuss about anything.
Oh, for the really worried.
Oh, well, they respect your independence and all that. I mean, Siggy grew up in a forest, basically, so he gets it, but they have been worried.
No, I guess I should go and see Zen next.
Yeah, you should have heard. I thought I heard Sancho screaming up a storm about Mouse or something, cursing their name. I'm not sure.
Oh. Well, I'm not the first adventurer she has taken in.
Yeah, that's kind of where it all started. I think that's what the rant was. It should have never took in Mouse or something like that.
Oh, well, I don't think she would mean that.
Well, she didn't mean it, but she was just very worried about you.
Oh, Oleander's clearly feeling worse and worse as she's getting all of this information.
Also, who's this Oinksbane guy I've heard so much about?
Oh, fuck this guy. Oh, he's a buzz. Okay. She just starts going in.
And that's when Soren's probably just all right, time to go. Is there anything anyone else wants to do while in the library? Oleander, you have a nice collection of books.
I do.
Yes, Zara.
I want to try and find some books on Boreala and the Moonlit King.
Yeah, you can find a book on the... there is a book titled The Court of the Night, The Unseen Court. Author unknown. That has references to the Moonlit King in there, and that's probably a good source to start with. And actually, Boreala is also mentioned there, too, because the Moonlit King, as you read, is one of the few remaining members of the Knight's Court, the ruling court of Fey nobles that preceded this season's court. He held on to much of his power by marrying the Queen of Winter, Boreala. Together, they ruled the Feywild for a time until the Moonlit King's ambitions grew too big and caused his wife to divorce him, casting him from the court. Since then, he has become a jealous, scheming Fey, using his bewitching hold upon the moon to influence the world around him however he can. He wishes to reclaim what he believes is his. The Moonlit King has many different Fey children, including Luna Pixies, but many of them were changed into the Doppelgangers, Changelings, and Inari by Lycus, when the Dreadlord consumed the Moonlit King, taking the Blood Moon from his influence. Since then, the two have had a feud that has spanned past far beyond the Sunless Era. The Moonlit King enjoys interfering with the lives of mortals, often tricking them into doing his bidding. He's greatly manipulative and deceptive, making him a dangerous Fey Lord. He is said to have at least 3 forms: the Lord, the Emissary, and the True. His command over the lunar powers is strong and is said to even influence other creatures that are guided by the moon, including lycanthropes.
Okay. And is there any indication of, maybe past Fey duels that involve using either other Fey or human beings as bargaining chips?
Oh, there's lots of those in the Court of the Night. A lot of that happens in the happened in the Unsea Court. That's kind of where doppelgangers and changelings got their main form of, getting their babies raised, is swapping them out with human babies and stuff. They got that from the Unseen Court.
Okay. Are there any stories of someone successfully stealing somebody back from the Fey Court?
No.
Shit.
The Fey Court, when they want someone, they have them.
Okay, my odds are bad.
And Boreal is well known. Many call her the Iron Bitch because she's not like other Fey that are all jovial and all party it up. Boreal is a very cold, stern, and iron-willed woman.
Hey.
I thought the Abyss was stubborn.
Yeah, I want to do as much research as I can into either fears or weaknesses or desires. Anything I can use as a carrot or a stick.
All right, fears and weaknesses. The Moonlit King obviously fears Lycus, as Lycus has proven himself more powerful than the Moonlit King and has literally stolen a moon from him.
But I hate them both!
Yeah, there's a problem. Desires, the Moonlit King desires one thing: to be on fucking top where he thinks he belongs. Lycus, silver. That's all they've got for you. Silver, 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 silver.
Okay, I need to invest in a silver weapon.
Anything that reference, and Lycus is the sworn cultural enemy of Lycus. You already know is the Silverblade Nomads.
And anything on Boreala?
No, she holds her cards close to her cold, cold chest.
Okay.
It's
All right.
kind of plays into the title that many folk like to give her.
I will find something!
Look,
Eventually.
Krukazel had 3 deities. He was only afraid of one, and it was not the dragon ones.
Yeah, people do, like Boreala. What you do know about Boreala? 1, she's the only fae that is frozen in eldritch horror. Solid, and because of her, all creatures of the void are weak to frosty cold damage due to the connection. Because Boreala was the one who put to sleep it that slumbers. And that's what she's known for.
But why does she want my mother? Why?
Well, the Moonlit King made that one pretty clear to you. She wasn't a fan of Tamlin becoming immortal. That's why Tamlin approached the Moonlit King, who took the opportunity to give himself a mortal vestige in the world. And Boreala wanted her back, so Boreala got what she wanted.
I don't know what appropriate leverage is against that motivation.
I guess you'll just have to learn along the way.
Let's unfreeze it that slumbers.
Oh no, that's
What?
a bad idea.
What?
Let's just say no to that right away.
Let's unfreeze the creature that is
Let's
ultimately responsible for the death of the
What's the
giant
worst that could
pantheon. Let's do that. That's a great idea.
I mean, we did knock the Astropath Arcanum last campaign. We gotta top that.
I resurrected a demon lord, so there's that.
Oh boy.
We gotta outdo ourselves with.
Our decision-making skills are really good all the time.
Always
Yeah.
great. We make
All
good
right,
choices.
so that's the fun research you got to do. Oleander, did you want to read your books, or are we going to the church?
I mean, Oleander can take some time to read, like, later.
All right, I gotta, because it's just info dumps.
Yeah, so if we can, I don't know, we can keep moving and then maybe later come back.
Yeah,
to
if we hit a lull, I'll just info dump. All
As
right.
soon as Oleander gets back, I'm just gonna be like, the tension, right? Let's see why he left.
I don't know what you mean. Sort of like straightening my dress out.
Okay, sure. Yeah, you don't know what I mean. Alright.
Yeah. So, next stop. Just sort of looking around at everyone.
Must have misread the situation. I apologize.
I'm sure you did.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yup. Yup. All right.
No
so,
eye contact.
So yeah, St. Clairvoyants is right next to the academy proper, just off the academy grounds. The church is humble compared to the university, but the architecture is quite artistic. Pillars are held aloft by these like marble hands. Outside the front door is a statue depicting an angelic warrior adorned in armor, and he's holding a Covidian Zweihander sword. When you enter, you're approached by a young, bubbly half-elf woman. She has pink hair tied into an intricate bun. She wears a bright-colored dress, far too fine to be worn beneath the well-made armor she wears over it. Greetings and welcome to St. Clairvoyants Church. My name is Sophia, and how may I help you today?
She's adorable.
I love her. Well, I am here from over at Opric's library. We were told that you have been checking out the following titles, and I'll just sort of like launch off some of the names. But I was hoping to speak with whoever was checking these out.
He's not around right now. Lord Clarion's not around right now. He was reading those books. But is there a message I could give him?
If you could let him know that Oleander Morgenstern was hoping to speak with him.
Oh wait, you're Oleander?
Yeah?
Lady Cat said so much about you.
Oh.
I am Sophia, Lady Sophia Swiftfoot at your service. Sticks a hand out.
Oh,
Oh
hell,
my
it is
God.
Very nice to meet you, and I'll shake it.
And you notice she has like a huge ass sword slung around her back. And if anyone reads any stories about Nettle, they always knew Nettle carried a Saint Bernard shield, and that's exactly what's slung across the back. So anyway, those books though, I think I'm onto it, because you see, I'm here because I'm trying to learn a little bit more about my namesake. My mom named me after her best friend, so I kind of want to learn a little bit more about her.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Sophia's like the most badass person I've ever heard about. There's like, my mom said there's only one person who could beat her in an arm wrestling match, and that was Lady Sophia.
I feel like Nettle wouldn't have them call her mom. I feel like she would just be like, "You could just call me Duke."
Duke says, yeah. So Duke says then, yeah. So anyway, Lady Katz, I mentioned you before. But yeah, so that sword you're asking about belonged to the statue guy outside. Apparently, that's what I've been told.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Corvus Altera, and Lady Cat holds him in very high regard.
Well, that is very fascinating. Do you have any information about this Corvus Altera?
You know what? You're better off just asking, Aunt Cat. She's the one who was close with him in life, not me. I guess he was Sophia's half-brother or something, so that's why I was kind of looking into it.
Okay, well, that is most useful information. I will have to see if I can get an audience with...
Oh, just come with me. I'll get you an audience.
Oh, well, I'll sort of look at the others and be like, do you mind if we make, I suppose, a bit of a detour to see Lady Steele? If she is available, of course.
I don't do great with the law, so maybe just put a hand over my mouth or something, but...
I don't think it will be too much of a problem, this Lady Steele. I mean, it has been a while since I saw her, but...
Oh, she's cool. She's chill. Don't worry about her.
Be like a little less you than normal, just like a scotch.
Look,
you can't dial me back, I'm sorry. It's not an option.
Look, if Lady Cat...
Eyes rolling all the way back.
If Lady Cat can handle the Duke, then I think we're okay.
Okay, then.
Stay here and grab the book from the library and bring to do a little reading.
Oleander, y'all are nerds. Where's the sword fighters with you? Where's the badasses?
Point to Constance.
Oh, hi. I'm Sophia. You must be also a badass.
Oh, hello. That is a bad thing. Badass.
Oh no! It's she pulls out a book. The Blackburn Regiment for Muscle Mommies. No, according to Blackburn's Regiment for Muscle Mommies, badass is the level that all of us warrior women should be trying to attain.
I am confused. However, I am thankful for the compliment, I think.
You remind me of someone. I'm not sure though.
I am glad.
Do you want to meet Lady Cat too?
Oh, of course I would be happy to. I would. Is this a good idea? Are we doing this?
Yeah, Azara, you should probably come with us just to give us some,
You're being so mean, Chris.
I'd rather not. I think I somewhat had my fill of mother figures for the week.
Alright, I guess I'll let it go for some reason. Doesn't seem like me, but in this case, I guess.
She's not a mom, she's a cat.
Besides, I need to find a silver sword.
Oh. Werewolf hunting, I see. Nice.
Something like that.
The Duke taught me a really nice technique. I'll have to show it to you if we got some time here.
I'd be delighted.
And as you're walking to Songbird Castle. Sophia is just like, so when you got a werewolf in the headlock, what you do then is you take the silver stake, and it's like, where's like this would be like Shaw's best friend right now. Just like, and you take the silver stake, and then you drive it right up the, and then oh, I'm right, we're in polite company. Sorry.
Oh, it is okay. I love to hear about training and different fighting techniques.
And what technique do you prefer?
I hit them.
With?
Oh, with my big spear mace thing.
Ooh, that's a neat one. I've never seen one of those.
I do not know if it has a proper name. I believe maybe staff mace, but it does a good thunk.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. I always wanted a scythe. I always thought those would be cool.
I have never seen one used as a weapon. Only used in farming before, but that does sound like it could be an effective weapon.
Well, I mean, it's some of it's Goal's favorite. That's what I've understood.
Cole?
God of Death. Never mind. We're getting. You're passing through like this well-planted acreage. You are passing through the Swiftfoot acreage, and as you're passing through, Sophia's like, and this is where my family and I stay when we come into this city. And it's like got mushroom houses in the middle of the city.
Do you not worry that someone may eat your house?
No, not really. If you did, it would be quite poisonous. I don't recommend it.
Well, that is a good deterrent.
Sure isn't. Well, where did Maximus II get to?
Maximus the Second. Maximus is immortal. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, Sophia has a different doggo. I just don't have a name for it at the time.
Wait, no, it should be like a smaller dog called Minimus.
Minimus. Now, Sophia's dog is a winged version of the giant Malamute that pulls Oleander around.
Amazing.
So you cross the bridge and you reach the massive stone Songbird Castle. It's definitely been restored to its former glory since we last saw it in Steam Spell. The castle looks quite nice. Most of the statues and iconography have been just kind of replaced with just more artistically valuable things, less memorials to quote-unquote great people and more to just ideals. You enter the keep, and Sophia's just, you kind of enter the main room, and Sophia is just kind of like, Lady Cat, I brought Oleander.
Oleander?
Yeah, Oleander. You said that you hadn't seen her in a bit, so I thought I'd bring her by.
I hadn't realized she was back in town.
I guess she was. She's stopped by the church, and here she is, presents Oleander to Cat. What is Cat doing at this very moment?
She was probably, she has, like, responsibilities now, so...
Right.
Paperwork, I guess. And she usually steps out of an office, up the stairs. She has aged a bit since, we last saw her, in Steam Spell. She's an Asmar, so she still looks pretty young in the face, but there's like a touch of gray in her hair. She's still wearing that crown they stole off a corpse. She has exchanged sort of her black rogue gear for something it's still black, but with like a dark blue lining. It's the long buttoned coat. Still has a sword on her at all times, but she looks significantly more relaxed, contented than she did. Yes, we did get the crown from Corvus's dead dad.
This is right. That's right.
So she'll hurry down the stairs and put her
There
hands
is
on
absolutely a large oil painting of the Star Touch somewhere under a night sky.
Aww.
First thing Soren does, that guy's a hunk.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
not wrong.
There's a white dragonborn. You see a younger version of Lady Cat, a rather mysterious appearing woman with very, very silver hair. A gray dreadborn with long flowy robes, and a green dreadborn with little antlers and a bow, strangely similar to one that you've seen before, wielded by Artemis.
Where have you been, Oleander?
Guten Tag, Lady Cat. It is good to see you again. I have been traveling. These are my companions. This is Constance and Soren, and our third companion is back at the library, I think.
A pleasure to meet you. Come in.
And our other companion is a dragon and has gone somewhere very far away, I fear.
Yeah.
Dragon.
It has been a while since you saw me, but we saw you at the train station earlier.
Ah, yes. Ended up with quite a lot of paperwork on my desk because of that particular incident.
Yeah, well, Entschuldigung about that. Some of the mess made was me and my compatriots trying to assist.
Ugh. I have a lot more sympathy for the people we used to deal with. Come into the sitting room. It's more comfortable. Mouse has been worried sick about you.
Oh, I guess Sancha must have told them I vent out. I sort of left town for a while, but I am back briefly. I haven't gone back home just yet, but that will be my next stop.
Good.
Well, I'm sorry to bother you unannounced like this, but I was doing some research and it sort of led me here.
You're always welcome here, Oleander. What can I help you with?
Is this cane? And Oleander holds out the cane that everybody's been seeing them use this whole time. It's a long black cane with like an onyx crow or a raven bust at the top. And she sort of stares at it and goes, you gave this to me almost 10 years ago now, and you never told me in all this time it could do the things I have seen it do since leaving.
No, I suppose I haven't told you much about it. What would you like to know?
Well, first, I have so many questions. You said that this was given to you by a relative of mine. Who was it? Where are they? Can I speak to them?
I fear I may not be the best person to pass on this particular set of answers. It did come to you through me by way of a very good friend. It's complicated.
What can you tell me? Do you know? Was the Inquisition right about my family, my parents?
The Inquisition is rarely right about anything.
Well, that is what I have always thought, but the things I have seen this cane do, I need to know if it's true. Did they do something to make me like this? This thing, Oleander starts, drops their cane on the ground and, digs through their bag to pull out just a small, plain black book that the party has seen her just writing in. pretty frequently. She flips through the pages and pulls it out and shows a sketch, like a very detailed illustration that she's drawn of Shadow, the sword thing that she's been calling from this cane a few times. Just go, I need to know why this, I can summon this thing.
Pat, you haven't seen that sword in a long time. The last time you saw that sword, it was being used against you due to the machinations of perhaps the most evil person you've ever known.
I have a history with that blade, I must say. Haven't seen it in years.
Why does my cane turn into it?
I don't know precisely why, I'm afraid. To be honest with you, Oleander, I don't know all that much about that artifact that you have. Just that you were meant to have it, and someone very dear to me, who I owe a great deal, asked me to give it to you. And after everything they did for me and for my family, I couldn't say no.
But they are my family? Whoever this was? I need to see them. I don't have anyone else.
They're not exactly somewhere you can visit. They died, Oleander, a long time ago.
Disappointment sort of falls across her face, but then there's just sort of determination. And she goes, oh, that has never been a problem for me before.
I suppose that's true. Just be careful, okay?
Yeah, of course, I will. Is there anything else about this thing I should know about? Holding up the cane.
The last person to wield that weapon was a good one. They went through bad things, but they were good. You don't need to be afraid of the sword, or afraid of what it makes you.
I would feel better if I knew a little bit more, but if you trusted whoever it was, then I will find a way to as well.
I did. After some fuss, I suppose, but I did trust them. Is there anything else I can help you with while you're here?
I don't think so. I really do appreciate the time, Lady Cat. I'm sorry to come here and, I suppose, bring up some of these memories that must be less than pleasant.
It's okay. They deserve to be remembered. And I always have time for family.
Tell me who it was?
Their name was Carvis. And if you want to know more, Clarion might be the person to ask.
So I have been told. Thank you, Lady Cat. This is the closest to my family I have been able to be in a long time. So just knowing this. Thank you.
Of course. I understand wanting to find family. Just... this road can be a dangerous one, and you may find things along it that are painful. But you have to understand, Oleander. Your family, what they did, who they are, it doesn't have to change you. It doesn't have to make you something you don't want to be. You're your own person.
I will strive to keep that
Well, my door is always open to you. So if you're ever back in Wren's realm, come by. And don't forget to visit Mouse.
I will. If next time I'm in the neighborhood of Weidenhaven, I will be sure. I'll send them a letter. It has been a long time.
Good. They're worried. Now, excuse me, I have a variety of requisition forms for a certain destroyed train station to get to.
Lady Cat, here's another report on the pig guy. I got another composite sketch for you to look at.
So
Oh,
sick.
that fucking guy.
Do you know them?
Oh, yeah, I know him. And Oleander pulls the same notebook out and turns to another page and opens it, and it's like a really offensive drawing of Spain and the Moonlight King like running away from their like fight a few weeks ago.
Got a name for me.
This is Spain, and he sucks.
Thanks, Spain. Alright. Good to know. God, I'm getting so sick of these maniacs with guns running around. Okay. Excuse
Doran
me.
just pulls his jacket over his gun.
Oh my gosh.
I don't
Tell
think
you
we
about
have
that
to
time I
worry
was
about
shot.
that.
Yeah, there was that time that Cat got absolute. Yeah, Cat probably does not like guns.
No! She was murdered by one!
It was the meat hooks, technically, but yeah.
Technically.
Technically
Listen.
speaking.
Bounty hunters with big guns are a bad thing in Cat's book, okay?
Yeah, for those who don't know, Kat's a character from one of our previous campaigns, and she's very much part of the world now. One of the villains they fought, he was busted. I'll admit, he was fucking
So much
busted.
damage.
He
So
had
broken.
stealth bonuses, was rolling advantage if he fucking was like prone while shooting. Oh, it was great.
The worst.
Says the GM.
It was fun. That's a fun fight, though.
For you!
Well, yeah.
It was fine. We had a diamond.
He had a diamond
We
handy.
did have a diamond.
All right, so you finish up at Songbird Castle. Sophia's kind of walking you out, and, you know, Lady Cat's probably like, Sophia, we need to talk about you bringing friends by unannounced. Sophia is doing a bit of an internship under Lady Cat to get a different style of ruling. Duke Nettle thinks it's healthy to learn from different rulers. Next month it's Sir Gregor in Thunderbluff, and she's just carrying on about how Sir Gregor, who's old as fuck now, trained the Duke back in the day. All right, so is there anything else we want to do in Wren's Run before we leave?
Did I find a silver sword somewhere?
Yeah, you found a silver sword. How much are you willing to spend on it?
Well, here's a question. I have this magic, elven sword, right? That
The
gives
Steam
me-
Blade? Yeah.
Yeah, could I get it?
Yeah,
Get
we'll
an edge
say.
of it silvered?
Yeah, you can have the edge of it silvered. I'll say that'll be like a 50 silver piece operation.
Cool. I'm out of money.
But you have a silver sword now.
I do. I have one silver piece left.
And also that sword, you can have that sword apply as a long sword or a short sword, your choice.
Hell yeah. Thank you. I'll rejoin the group now with my freshly silvered sword.
All right, Oleander, are you gonna make that really tough? You stopped there earlier, but you gotta eat crow. Pun not intended. You gotta eat crow here and just face the
Yes.
music.
Yeah. I guess sort of as we're all meeting up, I'll be like, it is getting late, and, well, I suppose you can all come and stay with my guardians and I if you would like. The inn prices in the city are ridiculous these days.
Oh, you have a place in town?
Yeah, my guardians and I, we have a flat sort of near the academy. There's space for all of us, I think, if you would like.
Oh, I believe that would be lovely.
You
All right,
say
Oleander.
that, it might be a little bit awkward.
Which of your parents was the more chill one of the two? or your guardians?
Probably Siggy.
All right, so Siggy's gonna be the one who's home.
I imagine Siggy is like the chill one, and like he's a little older, you know, like he has probably aged quite as well.
Yeah, and he basically lived
energetically
in a forest.
as Sancha.
Yeah,
he's
and
just
like
like mellowed out and is like whatever.
yeah, probably. He's just probably like, yeah, I did dangerous shit as a kid.
It's fine.
So you make it to the plaza where the flat is, and you walk up the finely crafted architectured a building. I'm sure Oleander has some comment about what sort of architecture this is. Some old Higardi stuff. And you make your way to the top floor. On the door is like they made themselves a little crest with an elk on it. And then what school was Sancha from, Blackcoat wise?
She was also Weeping Elk, actually.
All right, yeah, so they got the Weeping Elk sigil up on their door. And you can, you've got a key, so you can just walk in. So when you walk in, you just hear this old girl. What?
I was gonna say I send Ida in first, so
Okay.
that it's like, sweet dog.
Yeah, so when you open the door, you hear this old gruff voice. Sancha, are you home yet? Oh, Ida! And then it's just, oh, who's a good baby? Who's a good baby? You know, classic dad with the dog move. Instantly pulls Ida up onto, like, the couch he's sitting on, and, oh, Oleander, he wasn't, you're lucky that Sancha isn't home because she would be biting your head off right now.
Well, I'm sorry that I did not say anything before I left. Siggy,
Yeah.
It's really good to see you.
It's great to see you, too. He stands up, and you notice he's still got that the old same leg that he's always had, the one that he's adorned with monster bones and whatnot, the prosthetic leg that he has. He gets up, gives you a hug. Look, I get it. I was your age once. I had to fuck off into the woods once in a while and not say anything to anyone, disappear. I get it, Oleander. You don't need to explain anything here. He's got like a pipe he's smoking on. Do your friends want something to drink? You look starved.
Yes, if there's anything you would like, I'd make the introductions.
I would like the strongest drink you have, sir.
All right, I'll see what I can scrounge up from the top of the liquor cabinet.
Oh, do you have goat's milk?
Sure do.
Some water would be lovely, thank you.
All right, and what are we feeling for food? I got one of those Randy Swiftfoot grills recently. I love it.
Oh, you know, I think Swan is a big fan of those.
I'm actually thinking about going into business with Randy, but anyways,
Fine.
I'd love to see how you are behind there, you know.
And then so that kind of gets you out of any other grief. Oleander Soren kind of gets Sigismund interested in the grill, and he's like, "All right, so I got these 3 knobs." And
I'll just give Oleander like one of these, like.
I just sort of like nod back like an I owe you another favor. I don't know if anybody else has anything. Oleander just sort of needed to put in some parent time.
What is there like? Okay, so Constance is going to immediately inquire about all the monster stuff on Siggy's leg.
And Siggy will be like, that one's from that one's from a Bailoff, and that one I got fighting a Sidra back in the day. Oh, and this one.
Oh, please tell me every detail.
Have you ever seen a full-grown Bilgrim? Those nasty little... everyone laughs. They're just weasels with armor on them, but they're nasty little weasels.
And Constance will listen very intently to every story Siggy has to tell.
And then Siggy's going on about how Sancha is out on a business trip of some kind. Yeah, she said she had to run the bail-in for something. I don't know. I just was like, I wanted to sit on the couch and just kind of read.
Well, you know, I would never, think less of someone for wanting to stay home and read.
Yeah, I didn't get to do a whole lot of that when I was younger. And Well, my eyes ain't getting any better, so... I take it then you stopped at the academy, explained everything to everyone, and everything's okay now?
Yeah, I think so. I am sure I'm going to have to owe Iris, like, infinite number of shifts whenever I come back to work for covering for me, but...
Oh, wait, you're going back out?
Yeah, unfortunately, we have a lot of unfinished business still.
Sandra's gonna be upset you stopped by and she wasn't here.
Well, I mean, you'll tell her I came, though, right? Like,
Well,
no,
yeah,
I
as long as I don't forget.
I will leave a note.
Wait, are you gonna leave the dog? I really missed Ida.
Oh, I sort of need her. She has been very much needed. We are traveling a lot.
Yeah, no, I know. Actually, that's where Sancho's going to get Malamute for us. I don't get around as well as I used to, so I think it's time I took a hint from you, Oleander.
Oh, well, I mean, I know that the stables that Petra keeps back in Balin still have some, wonderful family lines for service, so...
Yeah, I was thinking of getting one of the winged ones.
Oh, that is so cool. No offense, Ida. Just like patting her on the head.
I knew a few guys who could actually talk to dogs back when I was in black coats.
Oh yeah, I remember Mouse. It's made it a lot easier to do the training since there was someone who could speak to them.
Yeah, but then they get snarky and you don't realize it. Like, apparently, dogs, they're judgmental as fuck. I had no idea.
Really? I sort of look at Ida.
Ida kind of like gives you like the side head.
I imagine it's like that moment where we sort of mirror each other,
Yes.
and it's like, yep, pets and owners looking alike.
So,
just, like, judging.
You have a wonderful stay with Siggy. Siggy's like cool, is the cool uncle. He's got a fishing story, of course, that he has to tell you. And of course there's pics. He tells you about Sancha and his latest trip. They went and visited the big city in the neutral frontier, New Morn. Not as great as it's cracked up to be. But other than that, that's all I've got for this session.
I heard most people have no strong feelings either way.
I have no strong feelings either way. So that's all I've got, unless anyone has anything else they want to do.
You want to do the Violetta thing, or do you want to wait? I'm fine with it.
You can give her, let's call her up. Let booty call.
No. I'm just gonna call her and say, Violetta, I have a lot of new information for you next time I see you.
Oh,
Just
good.
leave it vague.
And you get a message back. Oh, good, I'm still in Shiverdelve, so if you find yourself there, I'm around.
Sounds like
No.
we're going to Shiverdelve.
Would love to connect again.
I would love to give you information, I'll say that, but I did recently speak to a skunk friend of yours, so I don't think we'll be connecting again.
Skunk friend? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Is that why you only had one Y to your hay?
I'm leaving it on red.
Fucker.
And that's it.
Beautiful. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for this fantastic episode of WovenRealm. Next week, we'll be catching an airship to Shiverdelve and begin werewolf things. Like we said, Shaw will be back. I'm going to skip plugging again because I'm hungry and lazy. I've had a long day. So,
5-minute plugs for us, it's fine.
Yeah.
yeah, so check out everything we do. All these folks are fantastic, and they're so fucking talented. I'm serious. Even, like, Anne Noir, who is going to be missing from us, very talented, and he does awesome things. There's going to... I don't know if I'm allowed to announce the thing that's going on during the weekend. Just keep an eye on the stuff.
It's on Twitter.
Oh, is it?
For
Is it already
Saturday?
up? Yeah, is it already up?
Yeah, it's on Twitter.
Okay, yeah, Sam and I will be on Critical Misses for Morning Ritual, repping the Chromatic Chimera. You should come hang out. I don't know what they're gonna... I know there's one question where they ask about our That Guy experience, and I might have them hold off, because that's a story in and of itself.
That'll be an entire episode.
Right. So anyway, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to go raid some friends, and we hope you have a great evening. See us next week when we return to the Woven Realm.